I've literally invented drama.
What's the most you would spend on a first date?
So I have been ghosted.
Serious question for men. Where are all of the loyal ones at?
Now, I came across this. And this young lady right here is upset and distraught because when she woke up from her nap, her boyfriend had left. But
I asked a bunch of girls, when was the last time a man approached you at a bar and started talking to you?
Normally, I love living in New York. Today's one of those days I really don't.
Welcome to the channel. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Let's get into it.
I've literally invented drama. They invented it.
Sure about that? Because if a person believes that, then it's rather clear that some women have definitely appropriated that particular invention.
Age.
I am 28.
What's the most you would spend on a first date?
Never go more than $50 ever. And the reason is because there's an 80% chance you're never going to see that woman again. She picked to go out on a date with you today, but she has 3 other dates lined up for next week and the week after that.
But we couldn't say the same thing about men?
Not in most cases, no. Most guys are struggling to get dates. Most guys don't have the options that even an average woman to below average woman has. Guys, you really have to set yourself apart, showcase either an attractive image, be charismatic, and or be persistent. And in some cases, all three, in order for you to even land a few dates a week.
But let's be honest. If you're really attracted to a woman, why wouldn't you just go all out and take her to the dinner for a first date?
Go for it. But it's always a risk. And if you're okay with having that experience and potentially never seeing her again, then by all means, it's your wallet. But with me, I don't like to waste my time. And I've realized that also when it comes to genuine desire, meaning a woman actually being physically attracted to you, actually having an interest towards you, she's not going to require all these crazy experiences. Some of my past girlfriends and some of the best women I've ever met walk in the park. Casual food, less than $12 a person.
Ice cream and coffee.
Very simple.
Not sure where he got that 80% number from. That's pretty high, but it is also pretty likely that you won't hear from them again. So don't break the bank. Take them somewhere where you can actually have a conversation and you don't feel stupid at the end of the night when they ghost you.
So I have been ghosted. Yes, the architect did ghost me. I'm not gonna let it get me down. I'm getting ready to go out to dinner with a girlfriend. We're gonna go out, have some drinks, remind myself that I am that girl. His loss. Let's talk about it. Last I updated you guys on was the 3rd date recap after we went bowling. Great date. I mean, I stand by everything I said in that recap video. And communication, I still felt like was a little sparse compared to how it used to be, but I was trying not to think too much about that. You guys, I always need to trust my instinct. My instinct is never wrong. I left for my road trip. It went downhill from there. I didn't expect him to be constantly messaging me, A, because he hadn't been doing that anyway the past week. B, he knew I was going to be with my friends. I expected him to at least ask me how the trip was going or if I got there safe. Since I was driving, nada. It's not like he ghosted me then. He sent me a few really quick messages, kind of the bare minimum kind of breadcrumbing messages. How was your day with no emotion, and then not respond for 7 hours. I texted him and told him to have a good time at the holiday party. The one he invited me to. Didn't hear back. And so basically I call him, doesn't answer. So I text him. I said, hey, I tried to call you and I hope that you had fun at your holiday party. Basically, I've been thinking about how I want something more consistent, and I've been pretty open and communicative with you about that. The past week or so, I feel like this has been hot and cold, and that does not work for me. I said, if I'm into someone, I don't like feeling confused. I like things to be pretty clear. I don't think you've been very clear lately. I said, totally fine. If you're not interested, just communicate that to me. As of right now, this isn't working for me as is. And I never heard back. Am I shocked? No. Am I disappointed? Yes. For someone who, was preaching all about communication, I at least expected him to communicate this or to respond to me. I guess that's asking too much of men these days. I think it's just a good example of dating culture. Even when you yourself communicate what you want and are honest about things, and when they seem like they're honest back, a lot of the times they're not. It's hard to take anyone's word these days. And that's just the reality of it.
Sounds like a pretty typical dynamic to me. She went out of town and she wanted him still to be all up in her butt, texting and calling and doing all this all the time, where she made no mention of how often she was reaching out to him. Only when he had kind of pulled back a little bit did she start to show a little interest. I wonder why he started pulling back. Sounds like he was having a conversation to himself. But you want to pull out that whole monologue via text message and put things straight and try to say what kind of standards that you have? Man, he was over you a long time ago, where he was always trying to chase you, but you weren't really running. Men are pursuing women, but you have to show some interest back. Or she mentioned something about making other videos. Maybe you just caught a couple of things or looked through your channel and said the juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
Serious question for men. Where are all of the loyal ones at? Because all I'm looking for is a loyal man who wants to give me a hug from time to time and lets me clean and cook for him. That's it.
So you mean to tell me you can't find someone to give you a hug and to eat your food? So are we to believe that you stink and your cooking is terrible, or that you're just trying to get attention online and kind of pander towards men and get a flood of DMs? Attention is a hell of a drug, but you ain't gonna trick us this time.
Now, I came across this, and this young lady right here is upset and distraught because when she woke up from her nap, her boyfriend had left. But let me tell you why he left. Before she took said nap, she threatened to call the police and berated him and said that if he was there when she woke up, she would call the police on him. So therefore, he gathered his stuff, his belongings, and he left. She's angry because the man left after she threatened to call the law on him. You gotta be kidding me with this, y'all. You cannot make it up. Now listen, people have toxic love, and I try to stay away from anyone toxic. But for her to be angry at him and for her to go on a tangent to try to explain why he's such a bad guy when he goes to work to provide for her, comes home and plays the game, and that's all he does, is outrageous. She says that he doesn't kiss her, he doesn't make love to her, and that she was angry about it. So she basically told him, I'm going to call the police on you if you don't get out. She went to sleep, woke up, he was gone. Now she's upset. If you want to see the whole video, it's in the description.
I'm telling you right now, that is my biggest deal breaker. Calling the cops on me, even threatening to call the cops on me. We are done. You call the cops, I'm calling the moving company because I am out. What's your biggest deal breaker? Comment down below.
I asked a bunch of girls, when was the last time a man approached you at a bar and started talking to you? They were all like, no, it hasn't happened in, I can't even tell you how long, like before COVID. They're like, I can't tell you the last time a man tried to talk to me at a bar. A man tried to offer to buy me a drink. Do men still do that? Men, can you weigh in?
Y'all told us not to. And I'm not saying you specifically. The women specifically on the internet were yelling really loudly to not approach them. Most men have a really warranted fear of being publicly embarrassed, being seen as a creep, or even just making her uncomfortable by walking up to her. Strictly because we are on social media all day. And every time we scroll, we are bashing men, saying how men are creeps, how all men are garbage. We see men go up to women and them get rejected and publicly embarrassed. Y'all have even made videos saying how uncomfortable it makes you feel. So that is why men do not go up to women anymore, definitely in public, like places like bars. At this point in time, in 2024, going into 2025, the risk does not equal the reward. The risk is far greater than the actual reward. And that is why you have a bunch of dudes prompting in to just DM you. But again, not you specifically, but you asked a man to explain, so here you go.
Sounds like they messed around and found out. And now they're tired of picking up that tab all the time. I thought y'all were just going out, dancing with the girls. You talking about going to a bar, having a good time, not mess. No men here, you know. I'm just here to have fun. But you want somebody to pick up that tab. Now nobody's coming around. We listened. We heard you. And now it's a problem. It's a problem that you created.
Normally I love living in New York. Today's one of those days I really don't. I've been walking home like this because Pilates didn't fix it today. And some girl looks at me and goes, "You looking at..." Like, can a girl not cry over losing a dog? Like, which... I don't like it here today.
I'll tell you something. I used to live in New York, and it is a special special place. My girlfriend at the time was walking and was happy about something, got some good news, and was just smiling. You know, something we want to see more people do. And several people was like, what you smiling about? Man, you gotta love New York, man. Best city in the world. Just keep all those emotions to yourself. I'll catch you on the next one.